It's 5 o'clock on this Wednesday evening, November 27th, 2019. It is time now for the Peter Channel 5 o'clock news on this Wednesday morning, Wednesday evening, November 27th, 2019. Good evening, everybody. I am Peter J. Wiggins. It is 5 o'clock, and it is 54 degrees in North Massachusetts. Top stories on the Peter Channel 5 o'clock news is President Trump contradicts testimony himself by claiming he never directed Giuliani in Ukraine. Interstate 5 remains closed near Oregon California border due to snowstorm. Western inquiry and review expected to uncut Trump claim by FBI spying. The homeless are fed and embraced across the country at Thanksgiving. The rest of the year, critical cities are pushing back. Former White House counsel Don McGahn gets a temporary pause on testimony from the judge. Rain brings the evacuation warnings near Cape Fire in Santa Barbara County. Bill Belichick responded to an accusation of Patriots tip-off officials before key penalties against Cowboys. Port Neches, Texas explosion tests the chemical plant. Blasts injures 3 people. The Review Penn's Mayor Pete's past comments race needs to get a little more woke. Deadly fire in Minneapolis highway sets off pennant escape. Jimmy Carter released from hospital after successful surgery. How? Putin dominates how Russia's beating U.S. to control oil industry. Albania mourns after deadly 6.4 magnitude earthquake. Saudi Arabia's crackdown incidents keep going. Black Friday, November last trading day in early close. As looking at the stocks now, up 35.20 points at 2156.88. S&P 500 up 13.11 at 3153.63, and Nasdaq up 37.24 at 8705.17. As it's a make or break holiday season. For some companies, the holiday season can account for as much as 30% of annual sales. GDP expanded 2.1% rate in third quarter, faster than previously estimated. Active shooter drills may not stop a school shooting. This is our benefits of stem cell heart therapy may have nothing to do with stem cells of study mice possess. Chickenpox vaccine reactivates in 2 boys cause rare meningitis more commonly seen in unvaccinated kids, and lawsuit filed over hepatitis A outbreak linked to berries. A measles outbreak in the Democratic Republic of Congo this year so far has killed more than the Ebola virus with the United Nations Children's Fund said on Wednesday. Deer in Thailand found dead with noodle packets, rubber gloves, and stomach. Chinese, Russian, South African navies conduct first maritime drills. British forces will be defeated by Russia. Our forces have signed off on a nuclear reactor that was damaged 8 years ago during an event that caused Japan's worst ever nuclear accident, but the unit still needs local approval before it can go back online. North Korea's Gen Z is different from previous generations according to increased exposure to South Korean entertainment media, according to Human Rights Group in South Korea. 7 Islamic militants were sentenced to death Wednesday after being found guilty of participating in a 2016 Bangladesh terror attack in which 22 people were killed. Massachusetts Governor Troy Baker signed legislation on Wednesday that bars the sale of flavored nicotine vaping products that measure to proceed in existence temporary ban in the products. 6,000 counterfeit IDs headed for New York City seized. CDC U.S. had a 2% drop in abortions in 2016. Severe weather has forced cancellations of hundreds of U.S. flights over the last 2 days, and thousands were more delayed due to mainly a snowstorm in the Rocky Mountains. Returning just in time in the holiday shopping season, and reconsidered version of retail Toys R Us celebrated its opening its first new store in New Jersey on Wednesday. New York City officials said they have to wait until Thursday to make a game day decision on where to fly the iconic traditional balloons out of New York City's Thanksgiving parade will fly this year. Lion at Cape Park Zoo and Attleboro gets CAT scan. Giant funeral shaping up for Taunton World War II veteran who died without a family. Compressor construction to begin on Tuesday in Weymouth. Peter Chill news time is 5:05 on this Wednesday evening, and it is time now for a Peter Chill Sports Report. Boston Celtics taking on the Brooklyn Nets at the Garden. Game time 7 o'clock with the Boston Bruins beat up in Ottawa taking on the Ottawa Senators. Game time 7 o'clock. Dallas Cowboys owner Jerry Jones especially wants Jason Garrett to get it done. Stealing up. Austin knocks up number 1 Duke in overtime with a buzzer beating layup. And New York City Football Club parent company City Football gets a $500 million investment. Peter Chill news time 5:05. Time now for Peter Chill traffic and trends to check on this Thanksgiving Eve, baby. On the MBTA Worcester Line train 517 3:30 p.m. from substation operated 10:15 20 minutes passing between Southburn and Worcester train 522 5:20 p.m. from Worcester back to the park. Worcester 5:10 15 minutes passing due to late route train 517 Worcester train 520. 3:50 p.m. from Worcester departed. Worcester is up at 10:50 minutes basket due to late route train 515. Newburyport train 172 4:42 p.m. from Newbury departed. Newburyport is up in 5 to 10 minutes basket due to late route for train 165. Commuter rail operator and Sunday scheduled Thanksgiving Day, November 28th. Okay, look at that. I was in Maui. 146 on both ends of Batman, the North Smithfield stretch. 95 southbound side, also around Protected on Providence. 95 northbound side on downtown Providence. 146 on the southbound side, so for Route 95 in downtown Providence. Jamestown, Newport, Mount Open, Sycamore Bridges up. Looking good. Out of the Cape, Route 16 eastbound side. Little slow after Route 149 to 132 in the Nebraska stretch. Out in southeastern Massachusetts, 95 on the southbound side. Southbound between Walpole and Route 495 in Mansfield. 24 southbound slow after 128 Canton and Nebraska between 106 and West Bridgewater and Route 44 in Taunton. Route 3 is southbound side, also around the Derby between Hingham and Tippett between Marshfield and all the way down to Plymouth. 3 is southbound side, also around the Braintree Split. 7 Expressway, southbound side, so before the Braintree Split. 120 at the northbound side, so between the Braintree Split down to 138 in Canton. Mass Pike and eastbound side, also between South Boston and Logan Airport. Mass Pike westbound side, so between 120 and west and all the way down to 84 in Sturbridge. 120 on the northbound side, also between Brennan and the 95 in Linfield. 93 on the southbound side, also in Somerville. Route 1 on the northbound side, also at 93 up in Charlestown over up to the Revere. 7 also count tells looking good. Route 3 northbound side, so between Route 40 and Charlestown and Route 113 in Kingsburg. 495 on the northbound side, so between Lawrence and Haverhill. 93 on the northbound side, also between Wyndham and New Hampshire. 95 northbound side, also the Hampton Tolls. Up in Maine, Falmouthburg, it's a little bit slow before Route 295 in Port Maine. Maine turback, it's looking good from York up to Augusta, Maine. 95 northbound side, also up there at Augusta, Maine. 95 on the southbound side, also between Stowe and down today in Marlborough. Today westbound side, also western and Auburn. Western Mass highways are looking good. 91 northbound side, also between Weathersfield and Hartford at 84 westbound side, slow between Hartford and West Hartford and hit Biscuit and between the Waterbury stretch and 84 eastbound side, so between Emory and Newtown, Connecticut. 91 southbound side, so between Route 9 up in Middletown and Merritt, Connecticut. Merritt Parkway westbound side. Merritt Parkway eastbound, so between 7 and Milford, Connecticut. And 95 on the northbound side, so between 7 and New Haven, Connecticut. And 95 on the south northbound side, so to Brentford, Connecticut. And up in Vermont. 89 southbound side, also Route 91 the Vermont New Hampshire border, and 87 89 91 southbound side, also up to Vermont, and Route 15 and 55 on the northbound side, so somewhere around the U.S. Canadian border. And New York State 3 a little slow around the Auburn stretch. Then New York State 3 it's a little bit slow around 290 in Buffalo. Peter Chill news time is 5:09. Time now for weather report. Looking at the radar shows. Rain showers like minor bands rain from western all the way down to Worcester and up into the southwestern New Hampshire. Some light minor bands rain in northern New Hampshire and some moderate heavy bands rain from western Massachusetts all the way down to the southwestern Vermont and down for central portions of Connecticut and down to central Long Island. Light minor bands rain southwest of Martha's Vineyard and moderate bands rain south of Albany, New York. Okay, forecast. It goes like this for tonight. It's be showers mainly before 10 p.m. Then patch before 10 p.m. 140 degrees south about 5 to 10 miles coming to west every night. Winds could gust size 31 miles an hour. Chance is 8%. New percent between the 10 point index possible for Thanksgiving Day. Check the shot main before 9 a.m. Patch before 8 a.m. wise. Class cabin transmitter mostly set about 45 degrees, north 10 to 50 miles gust 34 miles an hour. Chance is 40%. New miles less than 10 minutes possible for Thursday night. Mostly clear sky about 27 degrees, north about 8 to 10 miles gust 25 miles an hour for Friday. Sunday, most clear sky about 40 about 22 degrees, north about 7 to 10 miles an hour gust 22 to 25 miles an hour. And for Saturday, Sunday, mostly clear sky about 37 about 21 degrees, north about 5 to 8 miles an hour gust 20 miles an hour. For Sunday, chance of snow before noon, then snow can possibly mix with rain. Putney's has got about 39 degrees, and Chesapeake is 70% for Monday at Chet rain, mostly clouds about 42, about 36 degrees, east at about 10 miles an hour coming to north in the afternoon, winds kick us high 32 miles an hour, Chesapeake is 50%, and for Tuesday, Putney's has got about 36, about 22 degrees, north about 6 to 10 miles an hour, gust high 22 miles an hour. For Wednesday, most of the going to be cold out about 30 degrees. Right now, 90 minutes overcast at 53 degrees. That's going to be it for the Peter Channel 5 o'clock news on this Wednesday evening, November 27th, 2019. Peter will be have a good evening and goodbye day to 11 o'clock for a late night. Hope you have a good evening.